Donald Trump's biggest inbred sycophants are not sure that he can win because people's minds have been poisoned against him. Now, as with every other week for the past few months, the big question of the week among the chattering classes has been whether former squatter Donald Trump still has his mojo among the maggot crowd, and with the ambitious Florida, with the ambitious Florida, with the ambitious Florida douchebag Governor Ron DeSantis committing one culture war assault after another, the entry of former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, who's also pathetic, entering into the race and is getting a lot of attention, and what appears to be a long line of Republican wannabes, undaunted by his former dominance, preparing to enter the race. Trump is said to be rocked back on his heels, reeling like an out-of-shape boxer who's past his prime. Is this even fucking true? And if it is, does it even fucking matter? The Washington Post interviewed about 150 of Trump's sycophants to find out. And what a pathetic fucking treat it was. We haven't had an in-depth report on the average Trump voter in weeks, so it's a big relief to see the media venture out into the heartland once again to take the temperature of these real Americans. Now, according to the headline of the Post story, Trump's grip on the Republican base is slipping even among his sycophants, and they report that these polls still love Trump but are becoming less supportive because they believe he isn't the best person to move this party forward. Why he wasn't even the best person to begin with when you voted for him the first time. Whatever the fuck that means. But anyway, the distinction is reshaping the Republican base as the 2024 presidential primary kicks off. The maggot versus rhino dichotomy that defined the GOP for much of the last 8 years is increasingly obsolete. In its place, a new dynamic emerged from interviews with more than 150 Trump sycophants across 5 pivotal electoral states. In between Republicans who remain firmly committed or opposed to the former squatter, there's now a broad range of Trump sycophants who, however much they still like him, aren't sure that they want him as the party's next nominee, and the foremost reason is electability. They're not sure that he can win because people's minds have been poisoned against him, and more than anything else, these people just want to win, and they want to win so much that they'll cheat to win, but they'll keep cheating to win anyway. So many of them are looking to the Satanists, who's not even qualified to even hold my jockstrap, and they basically they think that he can win over moderates and independents by being even Trumpier than Trump, but not actually being Trump himself. This is based on his big win in the increasingly red state of Florida, which he should have been kicked out anyway because of what he did. The report suggests that a lot of people aren't actually all that familiar with the Satanist. Everybody refers to him as the Florida guy. Anecdotally, I have personally come across Republicans who confuse the fabulous New York Congressman George DeSantis and George Santos, who's a liar anyway, and Ron DeSantis, so I'm not sure the latter has firmly established himself as anything more than a fantasy for some of these people. Now, also among those the Post interviewed are ride-or-die Trump sycophants and people who cannot fathom voting for anyone but their dear Satanists. These are people who carry the threat of sitting out of an election if Trump isn't given the nomination. And it's obvious. It's not as if Trump would graciously concede and implore his devoted flock to vote for the person who defeated him, but it's unknown how many of these people there are, but there are enough of them that they scare the hell out of us. Watching the Satanists and the rest of the field try to navigate that minefield should be entertaining in a horror movie sort of way. Now, the eagerness among many in the media to see the Satanists as the second coming of Trump is palpable, even if they are missing the point entirely. He's leaning hard on culture wars, just as Trump did, but his cleverest, Trumpiest maneuver is a strategy defined by former strategist Steve Bannon as the real opposition, as basically the real opposition is the media, and the way to deal with them is to flood the zone with shit. It's the relentless nature of his bombardment at a new assault each day on one or more of the maggot crowd's designated enemies that creates an almost overwhelmingly sense of disorientation and an inability to properly contextualize what he's doing. And we'll have to see if the Satanist can keep up the pace and if he has Trump's talent for owning the Democrats in a way that makes his sycophants feel good about themselves for doing it. DeSantis' humorless personality doesn't inspire the same kind of joyous tribalism that defines Trump, but I suspect that the most compelling thing about it for most of Trump's sycophants is that it's fun. DeSantis, however, doesn't seem like much fun because he's not. And neither was Trump. So the polls are all over the place and they don't really show us much yet, except that Donald Trump would not be nominated by acclamation. This clearly disappointed him, but also has almost certainly sharpened his survival instincts. We know how he reacts to losing, and it's clear that his rivals are prepared to fight him. The Trump strategist and faux celebrity Sean Hannity, or as I like to call him, Insanity, because he's insane, has been asking every candidate and potential candidate the simple question: how do you differ from Donald Trump? So far, they'll pretty much say I don't. I basically when Trump was squatting, I barely. I was losing money like crazy when he was squatting in the White House. Now, Trump's policies are a couple of ideas Trump came up with in the 1980s about trade, racism, about handful of insane complaints he concocted to cover for the fact that he didn't know what he was talking about. And in 2016 and whatever he decided to tweet on any given morning after watching Foe, there's no ideology, there's no agenda. He'd never had one to begin with. The party didn't even bother to produce a platform in 2020. Instead, saying that whatever Trump was fine was fine with them. There's no Trumpism. There's only one Trump and certain posiers pretending to be him by acting like narcissists and bullies. This election is already showing that until Trump is out of politics, which invisible ferryman willing, will be in 2 more years, the Republican Party is not going to lift a finger to reorient the party away from him. Just as Foe panicked when their audience left them for failing to produce or adhere to for failing to properly adhere to the Trump's big lie. The party is basically terrified of alienating the forever Trumpers, and many of them see political benefit in keeping them deluded and distracted. And Trump may not be the juggernaut he once was, but for the moment he's really all they got. Even though Trump's fucking pathetic and doesn't need to be on the ballot again anyway. So if you like the video, you can give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, RBW King. You can also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. Also, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Also, if you want to support my work even further, you can donate to my Patreon link, which you can find in the About section of YouTube. For just as little as a few bucks on my video or even a month, your donation can help go a long way, and thanks for listening.